Hey, good morning, everybody. So, I have something on my mind right now that is not like the usual kind of thing that I talk about. But I was thinking today about a saying that I have used a lot of times throughout my life because a lot of things have happened that are just hard to explain. You know, how did I get here? How did I get there? How was I in such a bad place and then all of a sudden things are better? And it doesn't always work that way, but a lot of times it has for me, and I've always thought the Lord works in mysterious ways. You know, and what has me thinking about that today is just how, things are difficult. You know, life is difficult as a general rule. And I mean, I've really been working hard on YouTube to build up my channel, to put out better content, and, learning different little tricks and things for my videos that you probably don't even notice. And if you don't notice, that means I'm doing it right. But believe it or not, it's things that are making my videos better. And then at the same time, I'm still doing like my eBay and Etsy and things like that, you know, kind of to support the habit, you know, like YouTube is my drug, and I have to do this over here to support that drug. So, because it just doesn't support itself yet. It would be absolutely amazing if someday, somehow, I make enough money with everything that is related to YouTube that I don't have to bother with eBay or Etsy or any of that other stuff. I can just focus on this and focus on what I want to do, you know, and in turn, it will allow me to bring even better content. That's not what this is about. But I'm just saying, you know, I've always thought that it would be the most amazing thing in your life if you could do for a living exactly what you love. I mean, what could be better than that? I don't know anybody who wants to clock in and work for somebody else, but in thinking about this saying, the Lord works in mysterious ways, there's just a lot of things that have been happening for me recently that I've noticed. With the harder I work at this, the more opportunities that are coming my way. When I was filming at that old hardware store in Uriksville, I met a lady named Paula who was just in there shopping, but it just so happens that she owns an antique shop right in Denison there, and we got to talking, and I was able to go down there and film yesterday. While I was in there, she told me there's another lady who is going to be moving into, I think, the storefront beside her, who I actually have been in that lady's old antique shop out on Route 250 before, and so that's another opportunity for me to film in another antique store. I love stores like that, resale and collectibles and antiques. When I posted the video about the hardware store, I was contacted by another lady who said that her daughter owns that building and I should film some other buildings that she has recently renovated or is working on renovating. And I said, heck yeah, I'll do it. And so she put me in contact with her daughter, and that is in the works now. When I was out the one morning filming at the little river down there, the dam in Uriksville, I came across the people who were using their treasure finders, whatever you call them, I can't think, metal detectors. So I put them in my video just, you know, quickly. And I was talking to them, and they said, hey, you know, I know a couple of places that are abandoned, and we have permission to go in, so if you want to go with us, get a hold of us. So right there is more opportunities coming my way. Then somehow I got this crazy idea of chasing down all these bicentennial barns, like I keep talking about. And, I mean, it went from just a crazy idea flying through my mind to the beginning of the whole project already in the works. You know, Virginia and I ran out and we found the first barn the other day. I went out today and filmed a lot of background footage and things like that. So I have all the footage that I need to put together that first episode. So it's amazing to me that these things are all just kind of coming together, and the harder I work, the more opportunities come my way. And I think that with this in mind, saying that the Lord works in mysterious ways is different than when people say, well, God has a plan for you. That one, I'm not really sure what to think about that, because, I mean, I don't believe that Like, whoever you believe in as your God. Let's put it that way before we get into anything political here. I don't believe that, like, if I choose to pick this up and then I choose to pick up the potassium, I don't believe that there's like a code written somewhere in my DNA that says, you know, at this certain time on this certain date, Nate's going to pick up this glass and he's immediately going to pick up the potassium afterwards. You know, I don't believe it in that way. When I think of the statement that God has a plan for everybody, I think about, well, what about these people who are in prison? What about the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world? You know, I'm sure God, who is supposed to be this mighty and powerful God and this good God, I can't believe he's out there going, okay, let's make this guy a killer. Let's send this guy to prison. Let's make this guy a murderer. You know, I just don't believe that's happening. So when I think about that statement, I think about, again, I've brought this up before, I think about the movie Bruce Almighty. And I think about how when Bruce was God, he wanted his girlfriend to love him. And, I mean, yeah, she did love him, but that's beside the point. He wanted her to physically offer her love to him. And the deal was that he wasn't allowed to make her love him without affecting free will. So I think that kind of comes into play in the whole God has a plan for you thing. Like, God can have a plan for you as long as he doesn't affect free will, if that makes any sense. Because I do think it is up to each and every one of us to recognize the opportunities that are being put in front of us, and for us to take the initiative to grab those opportunities, whatever it may be, and hold on tight and take whatever ride it is that it's going to take us on. Sometimes things present themselves to you and come into your life that you have no idea why they're coming into your life at this time. It seems like so right, but not the right time, if that makes any sense. And it's a really strange situation to be in, but I've been in those situations before, and you kind of have to be careful about how you handle things like that, you know. And like I said, you know, these opportunities that are coming at me left and right now, these places that are just being offered up to me to go film, I just keep thinking, man, this is just awesome. I have all these opportunities to make all this good content, but I know that I still have a responsibility to, you know, eBay and this hustling on the side here, because that's what's paying the bills right now. So it's like, even though I have the opportunity to get up in the morning at 6 a.m. and film and edit and work on eBay until 2 o'clock in the morning and go to bed and wake up at 6 a.m. the next day and do the exact same thing all day, every day, I have to be careful with that opportunity, because I still have these responsibilities over here that I have to take care of for the time being. But like I said, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and, you know, just when you think things are difficult, keep your eyes open, because opportunities will present. It's just up to you to recognize those opportunities and take advantage of them. And just one more example of the Lord working in mysterious ways. I have a friend who I met, I don't know how many years ago, probably 2007 maybe. He used to run a website about the Maslin Tigers football team, and my son played football for the Maslin Tigers in junior high. I was filming a video at all his games, which eventually became a full-length documentary as more and more parents became interested in it. I rented the theater downtown in Maslin, and I showed this film at the theater. And one of the things was that I contacted this guy, and somehow we got to talking, and he gave me, I mean, just gave me, out of the goodness of his heart, scads of these football DVDs he has from the Maslin Tigers that he made and he was selling a while back. And I used those to have the kids hand them out at the show. You know, I don't do anything half-ass. I had these kids run through the auditorium, through billowing smoke with Eye of the Tiger playing overhead, run up on the stage, take all these things and hand them out in the audience, and it was, I'm telling you, fireworks and everything. So it was amazing. But that's where I met him. And now, 10 years later, I mean, we've talked over the years, But 10 years later, when I've made this decision to chase down these Ohio bicentennial barns, he just happens to know the guy who owns the one barn that is basically like the hub of them all. And now he has permission for me to go in there and tour the whole inside and outside of this barn. So, I mean, where in the world does that come from? Coincidence? Or is that the Lord working in mysterious ways? 10 years was the Lord sitting up there going, let's put these two together now, because in 10 years, this one's going to be chasing down the barns, and this one's going to have to be the glue that puts them together. I don't know. I know, I'm a nerd. This is just what's on my mind tonight. So like I said, guys, just when you think things are down, even when things are not down, at all times, always keep an eye out for your opportunities, because they're always presenting themselves. You just have to be able to see that and recognize it and grab it and take advantage of it. I'm going to get back to work. Wherever you're waking up, whatever time it is, make the best of your day. Do something for somebody else. Pay it forward. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.